Alright, hello fun and welcome back to my Fallout 4 Mod Spotlight series, where today we are having a look at the Rhino M1 Redux mod, which is being released by user Diakyuto. And what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is, well, exactly what the name says, the Rhino M1 Revolver, which I have been having a lot of fun with this thing as it's quite the unique weapon, which was originally a mod added into Fallout New Vegas by users Nestor and Doombased. It's now been brought into the Commonwealth as a Redux mod, so you can enjoy it in Fallout 4, and I quite like that. It's a fun weapon that is brought into the game as kind of a rare but powerful hunting revolver, which is pretty neat. So let's jump on over here and have a look at what exactly we are getting with the Rhino M1, which in its most basic and standard form will do 62 base damage using a 45x70 round with a firing rate of 13, a range of 119, accuracy of 56 for a pretty hefty weight for a pistol of 6.6. Though as you can see here, the weight does make sense. It is kind of a large revolver with a lot of extra bits of metal that don't entirely make sense to me, but do make the gun look good, so I will let it go. My primary thing here is the awkward hollow bit here, just these two random strips of metal that are seemingly there just for aesthetic, but hey, I'm okay with that because it does look darn good. I do really like the unique design of this thing. I also especially love that it is tremendously beaten up. This is a weapon that has been through its trials here in the post-apocalypse with all these scratches and scuffs, etc. And I also do like the unique cylinder we don't see very often with revolvers of, 3, which is kind of strange. It does mean you'll have to be reloading more often, but nonetheless, we usually end up with revolvers that, stereotypical round cylinder, whereas here it's only 3 bullets, so almost triangular in nature, which is unique and interesting, and that's really sort of the main catch-all words for this mod. It's unique and interesting of a gun, and I enjoy it. Now, modification-wise, there is a pretty decent list of things to help keep this gun more useful throughout the mid-game and into the later game. Nothing that's too crazy of changing up in any too extreme of forms, but enough to give you that additional power. Now, of course, my stats are a little bit off from the base over here because to get some of those modifications, I did have to take some extra perks that I normally avoid, that being Gunslinger. To get the highest damage receivers for this weapon, you are going to have to take 2 points in that, which we'll see in a moment once we do get over to the workbench. But overall, though, it is still a fun gun with that very interesting and unique look to it. Now, as for how you do get your hands on one of these things, it is pretty simple. You'll have to wait till level 30, but once there, you'll find it on Brotherhood of Steel, high-level gunners, trappers, raider disciples, and even in vendors. But it is going to be, or should be, a more rare of a weapon for them to carry. But overall, though, not impossible to grab once you do get to that level 30 point. Now let's jump on over here and take a look at the various modifications we do get on this thing, starting with that receiver category, which is the pretty typical stuff, from standard up to tuned and eventually to advanced, which, like I said, is going to require that 2 in Gunslinger, and giving you, at least with that 2 in Gunslinger, you can get more if you put more points in there, but at least that base damage of 151, which is not too shabby for a pistol there, not too shabby in the slightest. Now, then in the barrel category here, we've got a short, a long, and then a ported short and long, basically just adding a little nub out in front from the basic other 2. In the grip category, we've got 3, the standard, the comfort, and the sharpshooter's grip. Only real aesthetic difference seems to be with the sharpshooter's grip of having whatever that is right there on the grip. Interesting, but of course will help with other stats there. Then in the sides category, we've got a nice little list. I do wish there were a few more options, but overall this is pretty pretty decent list for most of the usages for this gun. We've got a standard glow sight, 2 different reflex sights, a short and medium scope, as well as a night vision variant for each of them, if you do want to pop some science into your character there. But overall, you know, not the largest of lists, but I'd say enough for the gun that it is. And then finally in the material category, we have some aesthetic options where it's just going to change up the color of the paint scheme here, where we either have the standard, a blue, green, orange, pink, and purple. And no matter which one you go with, it's going to take a little bit of adhesive and oil to make stick. And yeah, you can have a little bit more colorful of a gun. Not too bad at all. So like I said, not the biggest list of things, but enough to help make the gun more useful into the later game, adding damage, you know, customizing how you like to see through the scope, etc. So overall though, not too bad. So let's take some shots, starting with, of course, the standard. And as you can see, this thing has a ton of kick and a lot of oomph behind each of those shots, as it is a pretty powerful pistol, especially when you do go all the way down the gunslinger perk tree. This thing's going to be doing a fairly large amount of damage to any enemy that it does hit. And thankfully, the reload speed for it is not as bad as I was fearing with, since you're having to reload a lot more with only 3 rounds in the cylinder. It's nice to see that it's not too slow with that reload. But yeah, I do love the sound on this thing. Very nice, good thump. Definitely feels like this gun has some power behind it. And even though it does have that big kick, it does kind of come back to where you were aiming originally, so it's a controllable kick. Especially with that lower firing rate. By the time it comes back down, that's when you're ready to fire again. Now let's take a look at, basically the only difference between the two is which sights. So just a quick look at the reflex sight that we have there. There we are. Very nice. And then the short scope I popped on there. Also, very nice. Other than that though, besides doing a heck of a lot more damage, yeah, it's pretty much going to function exactly the same as the first gun, the standard model. But yeah, let's take a look at this thing in practice against an enemy. We'll go back to this one here for a bit closer range and pop in our usual Death Claw. Now, I'm a little bit worried because of the slow firing rate on this thing, but with its power, it shouldn't be that bad. I think. Maybe. We'll find out. Well, okay, and he's off. Well, I actually landed all 3 of those shots, so that's a nice one for me. Alright, there we go. Oh, finally had a miss there. Ooh, that was a good one on that last shot there. Nice, nice, nice. Let's get some shots on his head there. Not too bad. Ooh, that one disoriented him a little. Very good, very good. Hey, come back, please, Deathclaw. I may be able to kill you with these next... No, okay. Maybe the next 3 bullets? Maybe? Let's see. Oh, that was a good one. Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, not too shabby. It is a very powerful, fun gun to play around with that I very much do enjoy. That great thud you get with each shot and that big kick does make it feel like it's a weapon that does have a lot behind it with those 45-70 rounds. And thanks to the aesthetics, you know, it adds in something a little bit interesting, a bit more sci-fi of a weapon than personally I would usually care for in the game, but still, it's such a unique and interesting pistol that I've definitely found myself enjoying my time with it. And I also just now realized that bit on the handle there is the freaking Rhino from the barrel. Wow, how long did it take me to figure that out? I've been playing with this gun for a couple of hours testing it out. And I just now realized it. Oh, wonderful. And I do enjoy that even on the scopes, you know, it does add in the different bits of branding up into the different areas. Even with the short scope there, you get the Rhino optics. So yeah, just a lot of neat little bits and bobs to this gun. I do wish it had a few more modifications, especially in the sights category. But overall, it's just a fun, powerful pistol with a lot of oomph that is very enjoyable. So if you'd like like to take a look at this mod for yourself, which I'd certainly recommend you go and do, you have a look at the link in the description as per usual. But that, my friends, is going to be it for this one today. Hopefully you all have enjoyed. You do come back for whatever mod we do look at next. But until that time, thank you for watching as always. Well, have a good one.